Hello, all you beautiful thinkers and wanderers. Welcome to Think Out Loud with me. I'm Natalie P., and if life has taught me anything, curiosity saves lives, and the best conversations are the ones we don't script. Life's a big, beautiful, messy learning opportunity, and here in my space, well, we let the inside voices out so others can hear, relate, and create with new purpose. This is a space for questions, connection, and those deep, real human conversations that crack open new perspectives. So grab a seat, open your mind and your heart, and let's think out loud together. Welcome to a live episode, just off the cuff going live. Holy hell, that's what we've done of Think Out Loud with me. And today, my guest, Sarai Speer, aka the Platinum Giraffe, aka one of my outrageously cool connections in this adventure of finding people to think out loud with me. Sarai is back for a check-in on this day. It is an absolutely stunning day, this fine-ass day. It's International Women's Day, happens to be. And I can't think of something I'd rather be doing right now than shooting the shit with you, sister. Say hey.
Honestly, I feel like because we were supposed to record this before, and I just love that we recorded it today because it's International Women's Day, and
Right?
we've got two bad bitches like ready to just see where this conversation goes. I'm so freaking excited to be here, friend.
That's cool. What the saying is, which is as soon as I start overusing the saying, it's everywhere for me, right? It's like intent is always working. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
we were supposed to meet today. Of course,
Yep.
here we are.
Yep.
So let's cut to the chase then.
Let's do it.
I'm going to be honest. As I'm sitting here, I'm literally sitting here you've got the same thing. I'm looking around at your cool backdrop. In front of me over my camera, I've got Frida Kahlo. I look on my shelf, I've got everybody from Maya Angelou to I like, and behind me, and yet somehow I've shared a few memes over the years, but this is like the last 10 minutes of you and me is the absolute most I've ever done in my life to celebrate myself and to celebrate you and to celebrate all these women internationally. I'm just going to put that out there.
You know what's interesting is this is the first year that I can remember it meaning so much to me. I think in years past I've been like, "Oh great, it's Women's Day and happy International Women's Day." But this year I'm like, "Fuck, let's like I want to celebrate everybody, every woman, shape, size, like I'm so into this. I'm like, you're going to be sick of hearing about International Women's Day when you are done having a conversation with me today."
For sure. Because why not?
Yeah.
I mean, and
Yeah.
isn't that the nature of our game too? Like, I don't want to spout too much about who I am because I might, we're in this space of just freaking over conditioning to like not want to offend, but where do we land? And then there's this moment of like, realization that I've had, which sounds, again, I guess I'm just feeling super like I'll just spew truth. The connection of truly feeling that women's rights are human rights.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
And that
This.
makes my heart like do something.
Mhm.
And that's how I know it's my truth. And
Yeah.
I've never paid attention to that before. Just since like how long have you and I known each other? This is like this is a new thing for me to feel. And I know you've locked into something. I've watched you. Like, what is this that's got us? This truth where it's like, and
Yeah. That. I I think that I know for me, I've taken a lot of a lot of this for granted that, I've had rights. I've not had to necessarily fight tooth and nail for, things. While I have, but I think with the current state of our fucking dumpster fire world, I think we're really seeing things come to the forefront. And for me, somebody somebody said something the other day and I just looked at them and I was like, are you fucking insane? I was talking about women's rights and how I'm moving to a state where I'm a little scared to move there, and somebody was like, well, you can't get pregnant anyway, so what does it matter to you? And I'm like, oh are
Snap.
like, is this really the way the conversation is going to go? Hold on, let me educate you. Because why it matters is all women's rights matter. And you know, it's so in the forefront right now. Everywhere we look, we're being told we're wrong to stay home, to make babies. If you don't produce kids, you're wrong. It's like all of these things are being shoved at us all the time. And here's the fucked up thing, Natalie. Like, it doesn't matter. Like you try to fit yourself into this box, but then somebody else gives you another box and you're like, oh fuck, so now I got to fit into this box. And then it's another box, and it keeps changing. And so I think what I've done is like, fuck your boxes. I'm done. I'm done. I'm gonna go live in some fucking parallel universe. I'm gonna live in a little octagon. And I'm not gonna make myself small anymore. I tried that. I tried playing all the games, fitting into the little boxes, and I lost pieces of myself. And the last couple of years, I've been putting Humpty Dumpty back together again, and I will not fucking go back there. And I'm to the point where I used to want everybody to like me, and I wanted to play nice with everybody. And I don't mean to be a dick, but at the same time, like, I'm going to speak for my fucking truth, for what I believe in. And if that offends you, that sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. Period. Full stop.
Yeah. Because the the comfort of, because what we've done all of our lives, and I'll say our because I think I'm relating to your story, is like we have found comfort in other people's comfort, and um that's not a bad thing. That's not a that's not an I don't care for you. That is, I am going to answer my truth first. And now I've gotten to a place, this isn't about, I'm sensitive to the concept of someone saying, well, that's just how I am and you're going to have to deal with it. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that what comes out of me and what gets expressed from me in its full form is beautiful, and that I take responsibility for it, and I am feeding this like inner wellspring of creativity and craziness to test my own outer limits. I want to see how crazy I am. And that's going to scare people. That scares me. That's always scared me. That has always scared me.
Yeah.
How crazy are you, Natalie? That is generational. That's my lineage. Why am I like, yeah, man, I could go off and create like the voice, the speaking up, the finding of truth, just it's an incredible thing to, um, and I think the word we use is power, just as a placeholder. It's not the same kind. It's a knowing that you can't unknow. So
And I think that that made me think of this power, this placeholder power. It's almost this fierce, deep knowing of yourself, of your beliefs, your expression of your beliefs. It's not this I'm going to put my thumb on you kind of power, but this like almost this like mama bear sort of fierceness that I am who I am. I'm weird. I'm all of these things and I'm fucking okay with this. And it's so interesting because I look back in my 20s and I think about, all the women I trash talked and like, oh, this 40-year-old bitch or this 50-year-old bitch
Right.
and sitting
Yeah.
at 44 now. Um, you know, I also envied those older women because there was something about them. And at the time, I couldn't put my finger on it. And I was like, man, these bitches don't care. Like these bitches just, they don't give a fuck. And they're cool and they're weird. And so I think in my 20s, that triggered me. I was trying to, stay in these boxes and be everything to everybody. And now I'm like, I want to be that weird lady that, like, I mean, I'm wearing face jewels on my forehead like I'm a 12-year-old because you know what? It makes me fucking happy. It makes me happy. And I want to keep finding my weird and finding my voice and finding these people who support that, who not only support that, but they want to be part of it. They want to lift you up. This really beautiful sisterhood that I missed out in my younger years. I missed out in my teen years on this sisterhood, on this fierce, fucking powerful, weird woman sanctuary. And now I'm fully embracing it. Like the weirder, the better. Bring it on. Let's lift each other's
Right.
weird up.
That's awesome. Where were you this last trip?
So I went on a goddess retreat. And let me tell you, I had a little bit of trepidation about sharing a house with 12 uteruses because I was like, oh,
It gives me heart palpitation.
yeah. It can go really good, it could go really bad, it could be 80 shades in between. But I decided because, I've always sort of said, oh, I'm a guy's girl, and I never really had these deep, beautiful, intimate women friendship. And so I decided to do this retreat. One of my friends put it on, and I just went in with an open mind. And can I just tell you, I'm not even sure I still have words to describe it. It was this sacred, safe space where we just we dug in and we talked about shit. We bonded and it was like immediate. It wasn't this shit that you see on Instagram that's like, women support women and meanwhile they're talking shit behind each other's back. It was this warm, gooey, beautiful space that we could come to heal together. We could talk. We did yoga. We fucking painted our faces with these jewels. We had dance parties. We jumped into the pool with clothes on. We hot tubbed. We got to experience our inner goddess, our femininity, our divine energy
Mm,
in such a way that I was like, oh, I've always run very masculine, very fire, very pitta energy. And so for me to like lean into this feminine, I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. This doesn't feel familiar. But God damn it, I came out of that and I was like, oh shit. Okay. All right. So I'm going to wear sparkles on my face to go out in public. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm going to wear what I want. I learned to really appreciate my body in that space because we're all so beautiful. And I was looking at these women and I'm like, God, you're drop dead gorgeous. And it didn't matter the shape or the size. And I was like, you're so beautiful. And I was like, wow, you know what? So am I. And I don't know that I've ever looked at my body, looked at myself and thought, you are so beautiful, Sarai. And I did at that retreat. And I was like, oh my God, this is such a big breakthrough. This is such a huge moment for me. And just getting to share that it was so freaking powerful. I had zero expectation for it. I didn't want to label it with expectations. I just knew that it was going to be an experience one way or the other. And it was beyond my wildest dreams. It was so empowering. And, we have a group chat. We still talk to
Yeah,
each other every day.
of
Like we're
course.
sending each other memes and all these things and like these beautiful little connections throughout where we got to talk to different people and by the end of it there's 12 of us and we're all friends, we're all like genuine friends, and I'm like, it's weird because I feel like I've known you bitches for a lifetime. Like I just met you 5 days ago and yet we've bared our soul to each other. We literally stared at each other in the eyeballs for 3 minutes crying, not saying a damn word. It's so powerful when you're around that type of woman who wants to celebrate your success, who is ready to become this version of herself that is unashamed, that is proud, that is uplifting. And it's just, oh God, I
Yeah,
got like goosebumps all over my
yeah.
body now.
No, and it came through, that's the type of, content that comes through and gives you goosebumps when you're watching it because you can witness the energy, and I think that this exposure that we give of each other, this this head first dive in. I don't even know how to dive. I belly flop. But if I'm being given a chance. So it struck me while you were talking about the concept of divine feminine and divine masculine. And there are some voices that, including my mom and my grandmother, where we had, yes, we did break the ceiling. We were doing the best. We gave it all. We were rebels. We have been, but that was still within the constructs of us, that has always been in the constructs. And we continue to play in that game knowingly, right? But it's this next level of knowingly dipping in and out. And when I come into this space, in this, I'll call it the LinkedIn beige world, I'm not beiging down anymore.
Yeah.
So is this the appropriate space? I don't care anymore. I have friends on here, and that's who I'm talking to. I might have known him for a blip. I might have known him for most of my career before, long before LinkedIn was ever a blip in its young teenager founder's eye, right? Whoever that was, I don't even know anymore. But so we talk about, this is interesting to me too, because what you're flirting with too, and we don't want to give it too much airtime, but we talk about empowering each other. We talk about walking into these spaces together and we celebrate. But I want to be, women aren't supporting women.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a rule, there's so much work that we have to do, and I just want to know your 2 cents on, like, where do we still need to get our act together from, like, your perspective.
Oh, fuck.
Pick a topic and, like, let's.
I I mean, for me, it is when women supporting women, and I made a post about this on Instagram this morning. It is all women. It is trans women, it is Black women, it is BIPOC, it is disabled, it is women, it is fucking women. And the thing is, like, I don't necessarily have to agree with you. We don't have to be best friends, but as a woman, I support you. I support your voice. I support your choice. I support your truth. And I think that we, especially as white women, I think that we have a lot of privileges that other people don't. And so we don't have the perspective to be able to include every single woman. Like, and I see it all the time. And women supporting women is not, I'm gonna cherry pick. I'm gonna support my white women, or I'm gonna support my, if you're a
Mhm.
lesbian, I don't support you, or if you're a masculine, I don't. No, bitch. Like, fucking support means all across the board. All across the board. And so I think this space of inclusivity it's so vast, it's so broad, but women supporting women, again, does not mean that I necessarily agree with everything that you're saying, Natalie. I don't have to.
Sure.
But what
Mm,
I can do is I can support you as a woman and go, fuck, dude, you're dealing with some hard shit. You got the patriarchy smashing down on you too. Like, let's band together. I don't have to have these best friend conversations with you. But what I do have to do is I have to fucking support you. I have to stand up for you. And I have to hold your hand and encourage you to do the same. And that's the ripple effect that we have. So
mm.
I think there's a long way to go. There is such a long way to go. And we're human. We're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But I think inclusivity for all women, shapes, sizes, ethnicities, religious backgrounds, sexual preference, you name it. Women supporting women means no exceptions.
I totally agree. Yeah. And I agree, and on a different level. Yeah, I'm intent is always working.
Mhm.
As a woman in my own, like looking back over my life and just in a space now of reflection and gratitude and just the awareness of the female energy, the awareness of my own feminine, the power of connection with beautiful women like you, where we're waking up and looking at each other and like, oh my God, I see myself in you.
Yeah.
And have a moment of just quiet, like heart knowing is like such a cool space to be in. Yeah. Um, I'm joining a panel later this afternoon here in Loveland, and um, one of the topics that, well, the main topic, the kind of the overarching theme is justice. Um, and I'm curious, just, kind of as a final, I don't know, reflection on this really, um, this big day. Um, what does justice mean to you? Like, and all wrapped into that, like, are there specific experiences that have really shaped your understanding, your definition of justice?
Hitting me with the deep shit, friend.
I went deep. I got a shovel as my parting gift.
Clearly. There's so much of me wants to grab my phone and like Google, like, or not Google, but Chat GPT justice. I think it's,
Pick it apart.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's
What's
really,
your first instinct?
well, it's really complicated because justice is, my brain wants to go, when somebody bad has done something bad, they get a punishment. Like that's the basic sort of, a version of it. And then as we dive deeper, it's complex. It's like if you were to dig into the ground and look at all of the root systems of the tree, you would see not just one, but these root systems are tangled with each other. So I feel like this is justice, and this is me unpacking
Yeah,
the
yeah,
definition of it.
yeah.
Um, it's there's no clear cut definition for me because if we look at some of these let's say executive orders that aren't exactly laws yet, some of these executive orders, even though people are following the orders correct, doesn't mean that they're bringing justice. It doesn't mean what they are doing is right. And so I think one person could say justice is following the law or listening to, the the hierarchy. And my definition is not that. In a perfect world, equality for everyone. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck what you believe, who you have sex with. None of that. Like, I am such a human person. And the
Mhm.
other thing is, I don't have to like you to love you because I don't fucking like a lot of people. But genuinely, as a human, I love you. Like, I fucking love you. My soul sees your soul. I love you. So the concept of justice for me is it's not following the law to the letter. It's not listening to, your boss or the hierarchy. To me, justice is when things are, I hate the word fair, when things are, what is the word I'm looking for? It's not going to come to me, but when things feel right for that person.
Mhm.
And I don't know how to like package it. And I don't know if I'm doing it justice. I see what I did there. Oh God, Sarai. That wasn't even a purposeful line. That was literally like, whoops. It's this sense of, again, it's not right or wrong. It is, there are,
I have a vision of you draped um in a in a toga, and you have a blindfold on, and you're holding, right? And like trying to find, it's right. It's
yeah,
like to each their own.
yeah,
Like, and I think even in you trying to unpack it, like we pack so much into a word that we don't even have things like the justice that I pretend to pursue, that I would like to pursue, doesn't fit the the justice I remember is about law and order. Well, hold on, who makes the law? Well, the government. Well, who makes the government? Well, we do. Well, who makes, like I keep on, and I'm like, wait, hold up, right?
yeah, yeah,
So justice is just a fucking word, first of all, I think. And then it for me, it like it's that, yeah, it's that true north where we are taking care of people to the point they want to be taken care of, and their knowing comes from a place of no, comes from a true place of knowing. Will we ever get there? I have no idea. That's not for me to know. Can I work towards my understanding of justice to give people voice? Yes, absolutely. And I think that's the back end of this, is that justice is a good thing to pursue. I think we should all dig into what we understand it to be, especially right now. Let's revisit the word. It gets thrown a lot. It gets thrown around a lot.
yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe a takeaway. You lifting back up out of that are like a content creating machine on Instagram. You are having so much fun. Like I've only known you a year and change, and you've already transformed like 17 times, and it's flipping brilliant. And I love it. And I talk to my phone. I'm like, go girl. And then I'm like, I have like, okay, I liked three in a row. Let's calm down. You don't want to be like that girl where you're just like,
You do be that girl. Okay, let's go back to what we said at the beginning. Be that girl. Okay, be that fucking girl. Yes, be
like,
that girl
like,
who likes other
like,
girls' posts without going,
that
what
is
are they
how.
gonna think
Thank you.
about me? You're welcome. Little perspective.
Tell folks what you're up to and how to get in touch with you. If
Fuck,
you
what am
had
I
to
up to?
sum that
Do we
up.
have another 45, 50 minutes that I could know? Well, I think since the last time we talked, I've officially retired from hair. I was in the hair industry for 20 years. I traveled the world. I did all the cool things, and then I burnt out, and I have shifted my focus. And so now I never thought I would teach yoga. I am a certified yoga teacher. I am a certified meditation teacher. This
Nice.
stuff blows my own mind. So if you've been following me on my journey, you're like, wow. And yes, I use the word fuck in my yoga classes because it's who the fuck I am. Um, I got certified as a mental health coach, as a life coach. I really knew a couple years ago that I wanted to help people on a deeper level. Like the hair was great and the education and doing that was all fantastic, but I kept hearing a lot of the same things, and it had nothing to do with pricing. It had nothing to do with you not being able to create content. It came down to this like self-love, this self-worth, this self-sabotage piece. And so I've spent the last 2 years really diving into that, and along with that, doing my own healing, doing my own evolving, really growing, really getting uncomfortable. And in the last couple of months, I've had some really scary, at least scary to me, revelations of things that I used to think were witchy or woo or just like too outside the box for me. And now I'm like, I'm channeling. This is the first time I've talked about this publicly, so I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to keep talking. I have channeled. I'm getting into tarot and palm reading. I'm really just doing things that make me feel good in this space. And
Mm.
I'm putting myself first. I'm doing a lot of self-care these days, which I didn't do any for like 40 fucking years because I was on the hustle and grind train. And now I want to help women. I want to help women. I want to help women really find their power because it's so hard in this world and it gets lost and we play these games and we play small. So I'm really just stepping into all of the modalities. I'm trying things on and seeing what fits. And my husband the other day, he was so funny because I was like, babe, I think I'm a witch. And he's like a broom, like get on a broom. And I'm like, no, like, the really powerful women who were burned at the stake and people said they were witches. I was like, I don't think I'm going to like, cast a spell on you, but I'm a fucking witch. Like, I'm just going to own this. And I'm a goddess and I'm a weirdo and all the things. So this is a really, really cool time in my life. Like I'm getting to do all of these beautiful things that I never saw myself doing this. I didn't imagine I would show up to a podcast ever in my life with the giant sparkly unicorn horn on. I'm really embracing my feminine energy. I'm embracing just the present moment being around beautiful people. I hosted a retreat earlier this year. I went to a retreat earlier this year. I've made some really amazing connections. And I've turned my a community that used to be only hair education. It was all
Mhm.
hair videos and it used to be called Balanced Stylist Society. And I rebranded it to the Anti-Hustle Collective because we are getting out of that fucking hard hustle and grind and we are learning to put ourselves first. Now, anti-hustle does not mean that I don't work and that I don't work hard. It just means that I'm putting myself first. I'm having boundaries. I'm using my voice. I'm opening my throat chakra. So I've got this beautiful community online and I'm getting ready to create another community that is more of a healing community. Yep, I have not talked about that either online. I'm really excited for it because again, these are things that I'm like, this would have been helpful for me. I wish I had this.
Mhm.
I wish I had this. And so I'm like, fuck it. Sarai, create. Like, this is what you do. You're a fucking artist. Like, you create these spaces. And, that famous line, if you build it, they will come. I just hold on to that with hope. So I, I don't, um, I don't know what the future holds for me. I'm just enjoying the ride right now. I've got a couple speaking gigs booked for this year. I'm teaching at a goddess retreat for my friends. I'm speaking to hairstylists in Miami. So I've got things here and there, but I'm just kind of like I'm letting ease into my life. I'm letting flow into my life. I'm really leaning into that feminine energy this year and just going with the flow.
Yeah.
I think this is the first year that I haven't had like 800 goals and checked half of them off by now and just really, I'm pulling back. I'm pulling back on the reins and I'm like, okay, we'll get there when we get there. And I don't even know where the fuck there is. So,
Right. Well, I'm sitting here watching you and feeling you, and like even just in the short time I've known you, you've transformed. And of course, you know that about yourself. If I think about even just my own self, the first time I talked to you, it's man, it's a trip.
yeah.
And I to witness it is a really special thing to see just another human, um pulling like it's almost like there's a string. There's days when I feel like there's a rope, there's a cord pulling me into the next, you know, crazy idea, right? And if I jump in the shower, full transparency, I can get that I got to go in with a dry erase marker because I can get that pull, I can get that creative energy out of me onto the shower wall. And as you're saying, taking the to-do list, though, from that, away from a jam-packed page of tiny little boxes that are insurmountable and I'll never get it done, to here's an idea, go with the flow with this. And then, like,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
control freaks, for perfectionists, for people pleasers, for any of those of us that have like imposter people recovering from all of the isms and all of this
Yeah.
is a big deal.
It's huge. I'm a
Yeah, it is.
recovering people pleaser. I'm a recovering perfectionist. I'm a recovering workaholic. Like, I
Yeah.
get it. Because 2 years ago, if you'd have said, Sarai, this is where you'd be, I'd be like, go fuck yourself.
Right.
Like, yeah, no, no, you're crazy.
Yeah.
And yet here I am leaning into that space because you know what? Here's the deal, Natalie. I tried fitting in the boxes. I tried checking off the things. I got the things. I got the cars. I got the house. I got the money. I got. And I didn't feel joy. I felt exhausted. I felt sucked dry. I felt like, fuck, I got to keep going because now they got a new car and I got to get a new car and they got more fun. I was stuck on that train. And so the concept of, do less to do more has always been lost on me. I'm like, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard until it clicked. And my integrator, she does all my back end stuff, like the systems and things that I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't know. She's always told me, we've been working together for a little over a year, and she's like, less is more, less is more. And I'm like, no, more is more, bitch. Like more is fucking more. And now I'm like, okay, Lauren, you were right. I was wrong. So it is, I get like if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, but I could trust me. I understand that completely. And this has not, Natalie, this has not happened overnight. I didn't wake up one morning and go, I'm just gonna let everything flow and I don't care. No, I still care. And I still try to hold on to control. And then I have to go, okay, but like back off a little. Maybe if you just ease up like 15%, girl, like, okay.
Yep.
This is a process. It's a process of letting go. It's a process of remembering, for me, remembering who I am. And for me, it's always been this fun, goofy, silly, dancing, singing, just full of life human.
Yep.
And I've gotten back in touch with her and I'm like, cool. So what we want to do today is we want to put jewels on her face and we want to dance in the front yard. And, who knows where an idea will come from. Like I was in the bath the other day. It's where I do my best thinking. And I got this idea, this download. And I was like, yep, this is my next thing. Had I tried to force that with that masculine fire energy, nah, but it came to me like a little mermaid. It just came to me in my bathtub. And I was like, this is it. This is the next thing we're going to do. And my idea for my book came to me in the bath. And I'm like, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So I understand if that concept hits a little different. Like I can't let go. I can't. I get it. It's little bits at a time. Little
Mm-hmm.
bits at a
Yeah.
time.
I have a new friend that says subtle shifts, very subtle shifts. And yeah, I mean, let's a shout out to like what's in between the lines here is that we all have a precious divine masculine in each of us, and what we're trying to do is find a beautiful balance between, and knowing what a situation calls for that is in line with who we are. And I invite, like, anybody listening, divine all of us, each of us, divine in our own ways. Like, if it hits home, if it lights a fire in you, if it gets you agity about something, I would adore hearing from people. Like, I love that. And, if today is International Women's Day, what can we go do? We can go talk about these two crazy women that we just saw in live, and they're talking about this feminine stuff. Go talk about us. For the love of all things sacred, don't stop. Like, keep thinking about it. Keep thinking about it. Keep being curious about this shit. Being curious about your femininity. What the hell is femininity? What the hell is Get curious. I won't try and convert you, I promise. Well, I might. No, I won't. I'm going to wear sparkles on my face after this. That's not conversion. That is support.
Yes.
That is my mirror reflecting the beauty in front of me. And, my gosh, just like, if we leave the day with anything, just, fuel love. Love is in the tank. Love is in the tank.
Yeah.
And we're doing things from a heart space, and we're fueling this crazy concept I have of an algorithm of love, no matter if we're online or in bed or what if,
Yeah.
right? So thank you for thinking out loud with me. You cool human, you.
Natalie, thank you. Honestly, I just love our conversations. I never know where they're going to go. I'm so glad I don't, because, I would have pre-scripted things. That's the Virgo in me,
You're
but
so
this is,
smart. You are so stinking smart. Don't script
oh,
your shit.
thank you. Thank you. I
I'm
appreciate
talking,
that.
I'm talking to you. No, don't. Like, you are so smart. Yeah. Like, I see you, and I celebrate with you. Yeah, my heart to yours, sister.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel it. I'm getting a little teary and
Sure. Yeah.
thank you. Honestly,
And
this,
let's go help women love each
yes.
other and themselves, and
Yeah.
let's be a part of that. Like,
Absolutely. And you know what, Natalie, I'm so glad you said that, because it starts with ourselves. It starts with ourselves, loving and accepting ourselves. And for me, I think this is going to be a lifelong journey. I think for most of us
fuck
to
yeah, I'm
learn
here for it.
fully, unconditionally love ourselves. Before we go, can I share one big thing?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I had this moment the other day, and as someone who's had an eating disorder for 30 years of her life and always tried to, and all these other addictions, drug and alcohol and yada yada. I've never thought I would be able to look at my body, especially unclothed, and go, "Damn, girl, like you look good." Or the other day I got out of the bathtub, and my body is nowhere near as small as it once used to be, in because I'm in recovery. And I looked at myself, and I turned around, I looked at my booty, and I was like, "Bet, bitch, God, you look good." And I was like, "Oh my God, Sarai, did you just?" Yes. I
Yes,
was like,
you did.
and it's years of work of like, instead of saying, "Oh, you look fat today," it's like, "Okay, you look beautiful. You look beautiful." It's like all this reprogramming.
Yep.
And for me to have that moment, I was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." And no, don't get me wrong. I don't think every day I'm the hottest bitch on the planet, but every day, you know what I do? I love myself. I accept myself. And
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that I can't want to make changes to myself. It means that unconditionally, I know I am a bad fucking bitch. I am an amazing bitch with a big old fucking heart and a foul fucking mouth. And I love me and I accept me for that. So self acceptance is one of the biggest lessons I think that we women can learn. And then we don't hold on to that. We give other women that. We give them the permission to explore that space. We give them the support that they need. So that self love piece. Oh, So good. It's so good. And as someone who never thought she would find it, bitch, I'm here and I love it. And I want to sprinkle it on everybody now because it feels so good.
We're going to leave with some sprinkle.
Yes, sprinkles. Or as my friend Britt calls it, sparkle magic.
Sparkle magic. I adore you. I'll see you next time. We'll go live without even, I'll just live you.
Perfect. I'm down anytime. Anytime.
Love it. Thanks for being here. Happy International Women's Day. I'm excited that you're a woman in my life. Yeah, for sure.
Friend.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.